Chapter 2: How to Build a Positive Attitude. Any fact facing us is not as important as our attitude toward it, for that determines our success or failure. Norman Vincent Peale. During childhood, we form attitudes that last a lifetime. Undoubtedly, it would be easier to acquire a positive attitude during our formative years. If the combination of your inborn temperament and your early childhood experiences have produced a positive attitude, you are indeed very fortunate. But if you have acquired a negative attitude, whether by design or by default, are you stuck with it? Of course not. Can you change? Yes. Is it easy? Absolutely not. Is it worth it? You bet. How do you build and maintain a positive attitude? Become aware of principles that builds a positive attitude. Desire to be positive. Cultivate the disciplines and dedication to practice those principles. As adults, regardless of our environment, education and experience, who is responsible for our attitude? We are. We have to accept responsibility for our behavior and actions. Some people blame everyone and everything but themselves. It is up to us to choose our attitude every morning. People with negative attitude often blame the whole world, their parents, teachers, spouse, bosses, the stars, fate, luck, the economy and the government for their failures. You have to get away from the past. Dust yourself off and get back into the mainstream. Put your dreams together and move forward. Thinking of the positive things that are true, honest and good will put you in a positive state of mind. 8 steps to attitude change. If you want to build and maintain a positive attitude, you need to consciously practice the following steps. Step 1. Change focus, look for the positive. You need to become a seeker of good. You need to focus on the positive in your life. Start looking for what is right in a person or a situation instead of looking for what is wrong. Because of our conditioning, most of us are so attuned to finding fault and looking for what is wrong that we often forget to see the positive picture. Look for the gold. Andrew Garnage came to America from Scotland as a young boy. He started out by doing odd jobs and ended up as one of the largest steel manufacturers in United States. At one time, he had 43 millionaires working for him. $1 million is a lot of money today, but in the 1920s it was worth much more. Someone once asked Mr. Garnage how he dealt with people. Andrew Garnage replied, "Dealing with people is lot like digging for gold. When you go digging for an ounce of a gold, you have to move tons of dirt. But when you go digging, you don't go looking for the dirt. You go looking for the gold." Andrew Garnage's reply has a very important message. Though sometimes it may not be apparent, there is something positive in every person and every situation. We have to dig deep to look for the positive. What is your focus? Search for the gold. If you are looking for what is wrong with the people or with things, you will find many faults. What are we looking for? Gold or dirt? Even in paradise, fault finders will find faults. Most people find what they are looking for. Some people will always look for the negative. Negative people always criticize. Some people criticize no matter what. It does not matter how well something is done. They will always find with it. They have made a career out of criticizing. They are career criticizers. They criticize as if they will win a prize at a contest. They will find fault with every person and every situation. You will find people like this in every family and office. They go around finding fault and telling everybody how bad things are and blaming the whole world for their problems. These people are energy suckers. They will go to the cafeteria and drown themselves in 20 cups of tea and coffee and smoke to their hearts contains with one excuse: they are trying to relax. All that they are doing is causing more tensions for themselves and for others around them. They spread negative messages like blog and create an environment conducive to negative result. Robert Fulton invented the steamboat. He displayed his new invention on the banks of Hudson River. Among the crowd who had gathered around to observe the steamboat were some pessimists and skeptics. They commented that it would never start. But lo and behold, it did. As it made its way down the river, the pessimist who said it would never start saw it start. Immediately should shouted now it would never stop. What an attitude. There was a hunter who bought an amazing bird dog. This one-of-kind dog could walk on water. The hunter was looking forward to showing off his new acquisition to his friends. He invited a friend to go duck hunting. After some time, they shot a few ducks and the man ordered his dog to fetch the birds. All, all day long, whenever there were birds to be fetched, the dog ran on water to retrieve the birds. The owner was expecting his friend to comment or compliment him about this amazing dog, but never got one. As they were returning home, he asked his friend if he had noticed anything unusual about his dog. The friend replied, "Yes. In fact, I did notice something unusual. Your dog can't swim." Some people always look at the negative side. Who is pessimist? Pessimists are unhappy when they have no troubles to speak of, feel bad when they feel good, for fear they will feel worse when they feel better, spend most of their life at complaint counters, always turn out the lights to see how dark it is, are always looking for a crack in the mirror of life, stop sleeping in a bed when they are here that more people die in bed than anywhere else, cannot enjoy their health because they think they may be sick tomorrow, not only accept the worst but make the worst what happens. The donut only the whole. Believe that sun shines only to cast shadows. Forget their blessing and count their troubles. Know that hard work never hurts anyone but believe, why take a chance? Caution. Looking for the positive does not necessarily mean overlooking faults. Be an optimist. How can one be an optimist? It is well described by the following. Be so strong that nothing can disturb your peace of mind. Talk healthy, happiness, and prosperity to every person you meet. Make all your friends feel that you are appreciate their good qualities and strengths. Look at the sunny side of everything. Think only of the best. Work only for the best and expect only the best. Be as enthusiastic about success of others as you are about your own. Forget the mistakes of past and press on to the greater achievement of the future. Give everyone a smile. Spend so much time improving yourself that you have no time left to criticize others. Be too big for worry and too noble for anger. Steps 2. Make a habit of doing it now. He slept beneath the moon. He basked beneath the sun. He lived a life of going to do and died with nothing done. James Hulbury. We have all procrastinated at some time in our lives. I know I have, only to have regretted it later. Procrastination leads to a negative attitude. The habit of procrastination fatigues you more than the effort it takes to do it. A completed task is fulfilling and energizing. An incomplete task drains energy. If you want to build and maintain a positive attitude, get into the habit of living in the present and doing now. When I become a big boy. This is like the little boy who says when he becomes a big boy, he will do this and that and will be happy. And when he becomes a big boy, he says that when he finishes college, he will be happy. And when he finishes college, he says that when he gets his first job, he will be happy. And when he gets his first job, he says that when he gets married, then he will be happy. And when he gets married, he says when the kids get out of school, he will be happy. And when the kids get off to school, he says that when he retires, he will be happy. And when he retires, what does he see? He sees he sees life as just gone by in front of his eyes. Some people practice procrastination by hiding behind I-sounding words, saying I am analyzing, and 6 months later they are still analyzing. What they don't realize is that they are suffering from a disease called paralysis by analysis and they will never succeed. Then there is another breed of people who procrastinate by saying, I am getting ready. A month later, they are still getting ready, and 6 months later, they are still getting ready. What they don't realize is they are suffering from a disease called excusitis. They keep making excuses. Live in the present. Life is not a dress rehearsal. I don't care what philosophy you believe in. We have got only one shot at this game called life. The stakes are too high to waste your life. The stakes are the future generations. What time is it and where are we? The answer is now and we are here. Let's make the best of now and utilize the present to the fullest. The message is not that we don't need to plan for the future. The message is that we do need to plan for the future. If we utilize our present to its fullest, we are sowing the seeds for a better future. If you want to build a positive attitude, learn the phrase do it now and stop the habit of procrastination. The saddest words in life are it might have been, it should have, I could have, I wish I had, if only I had given a little extra. Never leave till tomorrow, which you can do today. Benjamin Franklin. I am sure all winners wanted to be procrastinators but never got around to it. When people say, I will do it one of these days, you can be sure it means none of these days. Some people keep waiting for all the lights to turn green before they leave home. That will never happen. They fail even before they start. That is sad. Stop procrastinating. Isn't it time that we put off putting things off? Step 3. Develop an attitude of gratitude. Count your blessings, not your troubles. Take time to smell the roses. It is not uncommon to hear that someone, because of an accident, become blind or paralyzed, but won $1 million in a settlement. How many of us would like to trade places with that person? Not many. We are so focused on complaining about things we do not have that we lost sight of the things we have. There is a lot to be thankful for. When I say count your blessings, not your troubles, I don't mean that you should become a complacent. Attitude of gratitude does not mean complacency. If complacence was the message you got, then I would be guilty of faulty communication and you have selective listening. To give you an example of selective listening, let me share with you a story. I heard about a medical doctor who was invited as a guest speaker to address a group of alcoholics. He wanted to make a demonstration that would be powerful enough to make people realize that alcohol was injurious to their health. He had two containers, one with pure distilled water and one with pure alcohol. He put an earthworm into the distilled water and it was swam beautifully and came up to the top. He put another earthworm into the alcohol and it disintegrated in front of everyone's eyes. He wanted to prove that this was what alcohol did to the inside of our body. He asked the group of what the moral of the story was, and one person from behind said, if you drink alcohol, you won't have worms in your stomach. Was that the message? One course not. That was selective listening. We hear what we want to hear and not what is being said. Many of our blessings are hidden treasures. Count your blessing and not your troubles. Step 4. Get into continuous education program. Let's get some myths out of the way. It is general belief that we get educated in schools and colleges. During my seminars in many different countries, there is a question I ask my audience all the time. Do we really get educated in schools and colleges? Generally, there is no consensus that some people do but most don't. Get me wrong. We receive a lot of information in schools and colleges. We do need information to get educated, but we also need to know the true meaning of education. Intellectual education influences the head and value-based education influences the heart. In fact, education that does not train the heart can be dangerous. If we want to build a character in our offices, homes, and society, we must achieve a minimum level of moral and ethical literacy. Education that builds fundamental traits of character, such as honesty, compassion, courage, persistence, and responsibility, is absolutely essential. We don't need more academic education. We need more value based education. A person who is morally educated will be a lot better equipped to move up in life or succeed than will be a morally bankrupt person with excellent academic qualification.